we already know food is very important for everything. Like from the morning we wake up till we sleep, we need food in our daily life. So food is that which nourishes the body. It can be defined as anything that needs the energy, building, regulation, protection of body. So they are divided into three types: physiological, psychological, and social. So you understood, right? Like what are the physiological, if you see, that will be macro, carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Psychological will be bodybuilding related and social. Okay, now we'll discuss only about physiological. Physiological is again physic, your body physic. It is again divided into energy giving, bodybuilding, protective, and regulatory. So these things we will go like in depth. So why does we need food? If you see these bullet points, is it clear? I mean the screen. I hope it is clear. So the food provides our body with why do we need? We are staying alive. We're being active, moving and working. Then you may get a point like, does food okay, I think some connectivity again. Okay, continue. So you'll get a question like, what builds new cells and tissues for growth? They'll give you options like blood, water, then food also they will give. So something like that. Then you should answer it as food. So this is about what food provides. Okay, we'll move on to the next. So if you, I think this part is already explained. If you remember, that I already explained, like 1 gram of carbohydrate gives what and 1 gram of protein gives. You may get equations also like 4 grams of carbohydrates is divided into how many kilocalories, or a total of all this will be given as total calorie also. So in that way also they might ask you. Okay, then we'll go to next one. So these are the second major. Now you saw like functions of food. We divided into physiological, psychological, and social. Now coming to psychological, this is the second major function. Like food should support this emotional needs also sometimes. Like people who are feeling depression or and all, some people will eat heavy. So that's why psychological eating is also an important factor nowadays. So we have our own unique food style. Some will and eat, some will sit on the floor and eat, some will sit in the sofa and eat. So there are different needs for every human being. Some will have some in reading mode. Is it not like okay? Okay, is this okay now? I hope I changed. So some will have this psychological needs related is this one. Then social, what is the function if you are social kind of thing? So it is like social acceptance, or when you have a meal with your friends, that social gathering is different. When you have birthday parties or when you have attending marriage functions, that meal with families will be different. So there are various reasons to have this social function also. So I think you can take a note of what is, I think I'll take forward and I can explain this into further things also. So once again, we will go to the diet pattern which I had shared with you, that dietary plate, because that revision is important. Once I'll go there and then I'll come back to methods of cooking. Just a second. Okay, I am sharing that one now. Okay, plate. Okay. Okay. This one you remember, right? Like how many kilocalories? I hope it is clear. Okay. Because this part, so this plate contains 2000 kilocalorie diet. This it's a balanced diet plate. So based upon ICMR guidelines, if you see how much this my plate for the day represents, proportions of different groups is 2000 kilocalories. This one you should remember. Then we have one may consume sugar, but it must be restricted to 25 to 30 grams per day. So this is also one important thing, how much sugar intake should be there. That part also you should remember. So now coming to this plate, how well they distributed, you can see here. Like our plate should be surrounded by cereals and nutri-cereals, which is of 250 grams. Then including fruits and vegetables, it is 500 grams. Then you'll have milk and curd, which is 300 ml. Then you have pulses, eggs, and flesh foods, which is 85 grams. Nuts and seeds, which is 35 grams. And then fats and oils, it is 27 grams. So if you see, highest is vegetables, right? You can observe highest is the vegetable. But what happens in Indian diets is we eat the opposite. We eat a lot of rice or chapatis, but less curry. So that is why we are getting less number of uh, more number of health issues and diseases, more and more because adequate quantity of carbohydrates and fats rather than adequate quantity of minerals and vitamins. This fruits and vegetables, we have a lot of minerals, vitamins, and then this meat or fish or eggs. No, this quantity also once in a while we should take moderately. These foods which are less dense here. This 85, 35, and 27. In every day, their quantity should not be more. It should be a less quantity. So this plate, I hope you remember that it is 2000 kilocalorie. And then we see like age group wise. Now we saw the functions of food, physiological, social, and psychological. Now we will go to like why do we need this balanced diet and why? Reason. So for example, elders if you see, be physically active and healthy, right?
Ma'am,
Because
voice
their
is breaking.
age was okay. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, maybe my it's very bad network I'm getting inside, I think so. Okay, I'll continue. If anything is there, you can ask, share the notes also. I'm sorry for that technical glitch. So for L, if it repeats, you let me know. I'll try for another place to check. Okay. So if you see now, why do the elders need balanced diet? Because they should be physically active and healthy. But already elder population nowadays, if you see, they are completely bedridden. If this balanced diet falls for a certain period of time, this they will continue their health also. It will be proper. So it's how this works. Then now coming to adults for maintaining health, productivity, and prevention of diet related diseases. Then for women especially, if you see, reproductive age to meet the extra nutritional needs of childbearing or rearing. So the reproductive age all women faces. So that's why when I showed you that RDA recommended dietary allowance chart, I told you that women need extra calories, women need extra protein, women need extra fat, extra. Okay, I lost the connection. Okay. So I'm continuing with women, right? We spoke about women. And I'm coming to adolescence, which is of 10 to 19 years age. This is like the growth spurt, maturation, bone development. So, when they go to college and all, no, this development, all these factors will occur in both men and women. Okay. Then for children, which is 2 to 6 years, for growth, development, and cognition. This cognition is also an important term, which is seen in children of 2 to 6 years. Then now coming to infant, the newborn people, which is divided into 6 months, 0 to 6 months, and 6 months to 2 years. This you should carefully observe that infants are divided into 0 to 6 months, infants and young children, which is 6 months to 2 years. So 0 to 6 months is exclusively breastfeeding. So the first 1,000 days, we call it as first 1,000 days. I'll just write. You can read about especially first 1,000 days. In further classes, I'll explain about that also when we come to pregnancy and lactation. So the first 1,000 days, which is of 6 months, we should feed the baby exclusively breastfeeding. First 1,000 days or first 6 months, you should feed the baby with exclusively breastfeeding. So they might ask, like, exclusive breastfeeding should continue until when? Like 2 years, 1 year, 6 months. So then the option you will choose is 6 months. Then now coming to infants and young children for growth, development, and cognition, breast milks and nutrition rich complementary foods. So this complementary foods, no, they will start after 6 months. Like for baby, that Cerelac they will start. Then at home level, banana, smashed apple, like that they will start. No? So that should start from 6 months to 2 years. So you understood like this thing, right? About why do we need in different age groups and uh, when. So this part, food groups, we already learned. I'm changing the slides because you people should be interested to remember and observe also. So that's why I'm keeping like little colorful things and checking and giving. I'll send you the notes also. The last two notes also, I'll share to them and they'll share it to you. And it's okay. Okay, then we have cereals and millets. This already we discussed, right? In the My Plate, if you remember. Cereals. So what do they contain is rice, wheat, millets, and other. So they may ask you a question like, if this chart, if you see, they may ask you a question from this chart, it will be like, what comes under what? So millets comes under what, or wheat comes under which category, like that. So then so the remaining things you can remember, right? Okay, we'll go through. Pulses contain lentil, green gram, chickpea, rajma, cowpea, etc. Then vegetables, all the seasonal vegetables, roots and tubers, everything. Roots and tubers, again, if you see the eighth one, it is different. Vegetables is different and roots and tubers is different. Then green leafy vegetables is also different. So vegetable itself, they categorized into three. This third one, fifth one, and eighth one. We always categorize these three as vegetables in our daily life. But here you see they divided into like this. So now coming to nuts, oil, seeds, oils, and fats. Everything like peanuts, walnuts, almonds, and they extract oils also. No? From nuts only we get oils. So all those oils, sunflower oil, or whatever regular usage of oils, all comes under this group. Then coming to fruits, we have seasonal fruits. Then coming to dairy, we have milk, curd, and buttermilk. Then now I told you about the vegetables. You should remember roots and tubers: beetroot, radish, carrot, tapioca, sweet potato. All this comes under roots and tubers. Then flesh foods: marine, fish, poultry, lean cut meat. Then we have separately spice and herbs, which is like every day in our household we use ginger, mustard, pepper, cumin, coriander, etc. I hope this table you'll remember like what comes under which food group. And this My Plate for the day we already learned. So they also calculate like for the vegetarian and non-vegetarian. If you see this difference here is, only thing what will miss is like the slight difference here is 1242 is the weight and 2000 kilocalories is the total energy for both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Just give me a second. I hope now I'm clear. So uh, I explained about that vegetarian and non-vegetarian, right? And now coming to, so we just see the basics of carbohydrates. Why we are saying carbohydrates, macronutrients, carbohydrates, fats, and protein. Then comes that which is converted into energy, and then we can also see a total dietary fiber. So the major source which comes are from cereals and millets. Other source of carbohydrates comes from pulses, nuts, milk, fruits and vegetables. So, but all plant foods also have carbohydrates, but not animal foods. All animal foods will have this other nutrients and the fat content is more, but protein content is more. When you come to carbohydrates, all plant foods have carbohydrates. Then are either simple or complex and are made in, of energy in all human diets. Then we also discussed about gram of carbohydrate gives you 4 kilocalories. Then you know this chemistry part, right? How much what does carbohydrates mean? Then it is like glucose and fructose, which are found in vegetables. And I'll show you. I'll explain through a flow chart about. Here I'm giving you an intro at like this. The basics you should remember, like why do we need carbohydrates and why does the food contain. So that's what. So coming to protein, proteins are natural and functional components of every living cell. So in our diets, if you see, is about, and it is in the form of muscle, bone, cartilage, skin. If you people are have BPC background, you will have known that carbohydrates, physiological, human physiological, you have no, so it will be in the form of muscle and the rest is bone. Okay. So then proteins molecules which are containing of 20 different amino acids. So you know this, still my voice is not clear. I'll take in the morning classes only if this is being disturbed actually. Now, once you check if it is clear for anyone, is it clear?
Yeah, ma'am, it's
So we
clear,
know
but
that
sometimes
same. Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'll check with that. It's because of the network issue. I hope we'll go through. Then, as we explained, I'm speaking about proteins, right? So, you know, this human body system, like the digestive, since in our school books also we used to have. So, the where you see the bones and all, no muscles and all, that's why we need that is made up of protein only. Then we have this amino acids. In amino acids, we have both essential and non-essential amino acids. That further classes we can go through, but this is like an intro. You should remember why proteins, why carbohydrates, why fats. So now fats are also called as lipids and cooking oil. Sometimes they will ask you the question with lipid name. Sometimes they'll ask you the question with fat name. So this you should check. So dietary fats are derived from two sources, the invisible fat present in plant and animal foods, and the visible added fats and oils. So this, if you, I'm unable to highlight this. Okay, I'll write. You can remember easily. Invisible fat, which is in plants or animals, available. Then visible fat is you cannot see. I mean, you can see by through oils, vegetable oil, or cooking oil. So these are also called as added fats. Visible, you are seeing it and you are only adding it. So invisible fat, visible fat. I hope this is clear. So, but this gives you how much? 9 kilocalories. Every time we are calculating, no? So this gives you 9 kilocalories. Now coming to other micronutrients also we shall see, and we should see about fiber also. Okay, now coming to vitamins and minerals. I already told that vitamins are fat soluble and other vitamins are water soluble. So which vitamins are, why do we need this is maintenance for the structure of skin, bone, nerve, eye, brain, blood, and mucous membrane. So the remaining parts, already bones is taken care by protein. The remaining body parts like the skin, bone, nerve, and all, the muscle is being taken care by protein, and the remaining structural parts are taken care by vitamins and minerals. So vitamins are either fat soluble and water soluble. So what is this? You can remember like shortcut. Fat soluble, right? Fat. It is like FADEC. You can see. Vitamins ADEK. Fat is like FADEC. If you remember, you should remember that fat soluble vitamins are ADEK. And then remaining all the vitamins comes under water soluble, which are like B complex. So A is missing. B, C we are having. In B, vitamin B vitamins, we have lot of complex vitamins like B1, B2, B3, B4, B5 until B12. We have until B12. So you should remember this. And then vitamin C we have. So so fat though you remember, right? ADEK, and then remaining all vitamins comes under water soluble vitamins. So that's until B12 we have, I told. So that also you should remember. In further, I'll give you a chart. Like in organic chemistry, if you remember all those elements we used to remember, right? In that periodic table. So the same way you should remember this vitamins and minerals. Now coming to minerals. Minerals are nutrient food in body fluids and tissues. So these support the other process in the body. So in this minerals, again, we have macro and micro. So we divide them as macro and micro. So again, already macronutrients, micronutrients we are seeing, but here we are speaking about macro minerals and micro minerals. So what are macro minerals? If you see, they are sodium, potassium. I hope you people know the chemical names of the sodium is Na, potassium is called as K, like that. So you got it right until sulfur. Sodium, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and sulfur are called as macrominerals. So the role of these minerals is bigger when compared to the others. And also the every mineral is very important to the body. One mineral less also in our body, some of the other complication we will get in our body. For example, now if you see the other micro minerals, iron, zinc, copper, selenium, molybdenum, fluorine, cobalt, chromium, and iodine or microminerals. Iron, zinc. Iron, zinc is very important in our daily life. Otherwise, there's anemic problems, scurvy, all these problems will come. So these also are required for various functions in the body. Okay, then now these are the this chart only I was speaking about how to meet the daily requirements, right? This is the chart you should remember. Like for body weight, how much amount of cereals they should give. And you can see here you should remember that age group, category of work, body weight, and then main you should remember is energy. How much energy do they need? How much kilocalories do they need? So it differs actually. If you see, it is differing. So you should try to remember this. It's like a gold standard and you should remember. The other food groups, they will not ask much, but energy part, you may get a question. So we'll see like what are the points to be remembered here is choose for a balanced diet, choose a variety of foods in amounts appropriate for age, gender, physiological status, and physical activity. Other like they are sedentary man or woman like that. In the table, you can see. Then use a combination of whole grains of cereal, pulses, and millets. Then prefer fresh and variety of locally available vegetables in plenty. Include foods of animal origin such as milk, eggs, meat, particularly for pregnant and lactating women, children, and adults. And so they're saying like, but for vegetarian people, again, it differs. But when you add for these into regularly for this pregnant and lactating women, they'll be healthy. For children and adolescents also is important. Then choose nutrient-rich foods such as pulses, lean meat, fish, and low-fat milk for elderly population. Develop healthy eating habits and exercise regularly and being physically active to avoid a sedentary lifestyle. So this is like basic terms. But what I want you to remember is the basics of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. So this part will end it here and we'll go back to those cooking methods. So here today we finished functions of food, then functions of nutrients also, the basics of nutrients we finished, and then we are going to cooking methods. So why do we now we know this food is good for us, that my plate balanced diet should be there. But why do we need and how do we need cooking? So this part is important where you get some questions from this cooking part. So objectives of cooking, you see, it improves the taste and food quality. And it also, because of the heat, it destructs the microorganisms and it improves digestibility. And then if you see, it increases variety. Like people cooking style, some will like our mother cooking style, some will like our grandparents cooking style, some will like their own cooking style. So the variety and increase consumption of food, increase availability of food and concentration of nutrients. Like the main part, why do we eat food? To grab all those nutrients into our body. So that's how all these points will occur under the objectives of cooking. So now we'll go next. Okay, then after objectives, classification of cooking methods. So you have here moist heat and then dry heat. Two methods you are seeing here, moist heat and dry heat. So under moist heat, what do you have? We will cook, no, sometimes simmering it is called as, then poaching, it is also called as stewing, blanching, steaming, pressure cooking. So this terms are maybe new to you. I'll explain what is boiling and what are the advantages of it and what is simmering and all. Poaching is like for the eggs we do, know. And then like a boiling method only, that is we need to add little salt and vinegar, and when it comes like a coagulation, no, then that's why they say little water we fill, that is called as poaching. For to make the eggs cook very quickly, we do this poaching method. Then we have method called dry heat. In the dry heat, what do you have? Roasting, grilling, broiling, toasting, baking, soldering, and frying. Here, though, no need of water. This moist method is completely related with water. Then these dry heat methods are little very less oil we use. Oil we use, but not water. Moist method. It's not the moist method. So in, for example, boiling, the picture is wrong here. But if you see, boiling is a cooking food by just immersing them in water at 100 degrees centigrade and painting the water at that temperature. So the temperature here you should remember is 100 degrees centigrade. So what can be done? You know what we cook with boiling, right? So any example you can take for boiling. Then if you do simmering, for some vegetables, the boiling point should be 82 to 92 degrees. Here you should remember the temperature. For boiling, it is 100. For simmering, it is. Someone is speaking. Okay, so the boiling point for simmering is 82 to 92 degrees centigrade. Sorry, I missed in between. Okay, poaching is, you understood now what is poaching, right? For this half-boiled related eggs and all, no? We have a temperature of 80 to 85 degrees centigrade. Here you should remember the temperatures. Then now, stewing. This is a gentle method of cooking in a pan with a tight fitting lid, usually. Like stewing is like what we can say, which method means like it is related to simmering only, but another 2 to 4 hours, depending upon the nature of the vegetables to be stewed and all. Like stew will be served with some of, in North Indians, people use this stewing method most probably. Like I'll explain it more clearly because you can, you should remember, right? Like for soup and all, if you see, we collect that and again we'll the broth we'll use for making all other vegetables soak in that again, and then again we'll keep in the cooker and do. So that is called as stewing. Then coming to steaming, this method requires the food to be cooked in a steam method. Like you know, right? Idli is steamed, then some other functions time or festival time, not functions, festival to place near the god also, some steaming methods they will do. Most common example is idli. You know how it will be steaming and all. So then coming to pressure cooking, every day regularly we have. And now recent days we got this electric cooker and all. But otherwise, pressure cooker is the only method we used to have because it reduces our time, it saves our time, and everything will finish fast if you keep in your pressure cooker. Then now here dry heat method. It is the method either air or fat is used as a medium of cooking. There it is completely water. Now we are using the method of fat. So we have steps called grilling or broiling. You know, grill, right? I think hope people you would have tried grilled chicken. Then we have this sandwiches, grilled sandwich and all. You people all remember. So those are grilling. So the food is heated by radiation only. Like in that grilled method, there is a radiation which passes away. So that it's called as the food which is heated by radiation. It is called as grilling method. Then it is also results in browning of foods. You see, right? When this grilled has a different texture and different color also. When you see in outside, when you purchase all these things, it is different. So then these are under grilling method. Then we have toasting, like bread slices. Nowadays we have this equipment like toaster and all. But earlier only between the grill they used to do or on the pan they used to do. It is called as toasting. Then we have pan broiling or roasting. Roasting, a dry roast we do, no, groundnuts. When you're making a chutney, you do this groundnuts, and then sometimes chapati without oil also we use. So that is called as roasting. And these are all methods which we use in our household. But only thing the difference is like example of what can be done in under this cooking method and what is covered under which temperature. These are the main things you should remember. Now baking too, you know, in any bakery, if you go, all the bakery foods come under baking. In any bakery you go, pass by itself, you'll get one kind of smell. So they are generally brown and crisp on the top, soft and porous in the centers. Like example, cakes, puddings and breads. Rusk also is involved into baking. So the oven temperature will be 120 degree to 260 degrees centigrade here. So then soldering and shallow frying with like these are all with less oil. Then deep fat frying, our all favorite thing, which is of French fries. So sometimes we need to do combination of cooking method. So once it is called as braising. So it is a combined of roasting and stewing in a pan. For some vegetable curry preparation or fish curry or some of the vegetables, we need this braising method. But at our home and all, we'll not name it as braising only. Simply we have our own method of cooking. But in North, if you go, no, this or in the restaurants like top restaurants, if you go like 5 star and all, yeah, somebody example ramen. Correct, correct. So this is braising method. I think the class looks interesting, no, with these pictures. Of course, you people ate, but still, these pictures will tempt us. So then, microwave cooking. So most of us use microwave to reheat also nowadays. Like they use reheating in microwave cooking. Heat is generated within the food, and the dramatic reduction in cooking time is the main advantage. The method of cooking. You know what can be checked in oven and all. So this is about cooking method. So once again, I'll make a revision of this. Okay. So in moist heat method, we have boiling, simmering, poaching, stewing, blanching, pressure cooking, etc. And in the dry heat, we have roasting, grilling, toasting, baking, sauteing, and frying. So these are the things which you should remember for further like questions will come under the temperature method or which kind of method is this. So this one, just let me check if I can cover any other thing within 10-15 minutes. Okay. Then we should go to a very new topic from tomorrow because now you understood the basics. We'll go to in-depth because there's a lot to cover in your food science and nutrition related. Because it's already new to you people. We need to cover these things. I'll just check once. So now we will go like food group wise, why cereals and millets. Now we understood cooking methods. We finished functions of food. Then we'll go to cereals and millets, like completely their processing, their nutritional benefits. All these things we'll cover from tomorrow. Okay, so in this, if any queries, I know you people will ask notes is your query. That will be sorted by tomorrow. If any other thing you have, you can ask me. And do you people need objective like every week? Shall we do an exercise like where we can keep?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
yeah, we'll keep a quiz kind of thing, or I'll ask you questions. You people can answer from whatever has been covered. So that
Yes,
will
ma'am.
be, yeah, so that will be easy for you by this. So do you have classes on Sunday also?
No, ma'am,
Anybody?
no classes. Only
No
test we
class.
will be having.
Test only, right? Okay, okay. So accordingly, I'll prepare and you people will be doing this exercise of, is it clear like today's class? I had some network issues, but I hope you understood. Recorded classes and notes, yeah. I'll get an update tomorrow. I'll update you. How do they do this? Any other query? That notes part, I'll sort out tomorrow. Anything else you want to ask? That exercise we will do. Today's class, is it clear? You understood methods and all on, will you remember like all this? Okay, merits and demerits, it's like I told you, like a Browning reaction will happen. So any, not like if we go into deep in depth, no, we cannot finish everything. But I hope you understood. Like in each method, we have now pressure cooking. You see, there will be a leakage. So in general only, okay, merits and demerits. Tomorrow I will check and I'll make it very short for you people. So in one go, we'll finish that within like 10 minutes. I can finish that merits and demerits. Okay, then today we'll finalize this and shall we end we'll end the class. Then tomorrow we'll come with this technical glitches. Okay, questions. Yeah. we- Questions for you people. Anything else? Or we can end the class today. Thank you all. Good night. Revising so that you will forget.
Thank you, Papa.
Thank you. Like the other host who is there with the name of Directorate of Minorities. Can you please let me know, like tomorrow 7 o'clock class is there?
I don't know, ma'am, because I don't know. Every day there will be different schedules.
Okay. You update me once if you finalize. I'll also ask Meher, or else you can update me.
Yeah,
Okay, in the group I'll check.
okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
You
Good.
ask her as well because she will only update the timetable every day.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Even I'll
Thank you.
update you with this
Sure,
one.
sure, sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Good night.
Good night.